Good morning, everyone. I'm Richard Parr, and you are watching Sportuccino, and we are live from Blackpool. We are live from Bloomfield Road. I know it's a bit dark out there, but trust me, we're here at the stadium. As it gets a little bit lighter, you'll see that I'm not lying to you people. Hello, good morning. I hope you had a wonderful weekend. The reason I'm in Blackpool is because I was here for the WWE UK Championship. I've got a full roundup of that coming up. Plus, we're going to talk about the big games in the Premier League. Manchester United and Liverpool drawing 1-1. Manchester City getting hammered by Everton. Plus, we're going to go live to Ghana to discuss the Africa Cup of Nations with Thierry Nyann. All in this Sportuccino. We've got our goal of the day. We've got our travel tip. We've got our product review. And it's all in these 30 minutes. It's so great you can join us. We're live on Periscope. We are live on Facebook. We are live on YouTube. Please get involved. If you've got any thoughts on anything to do with what we're talking about, we would love to hear from you. But let's start the day like we do every single weekday morning with our morning sports headlines. Manchester City manager Pep Guardiola says their title challenge is over after a 4-0 defeat to Everton. Manchester United and Liverpool drew 1-1 at Old Trafford. India successfully chased 351 to beat England in the first one-day international in Pune. And the Green Bay Packers beat the Dallas Cowboys 34-31 to reach the NFC Championship game. Well, thank you so much for joining me here on Sportuccino. We would love to get you involved in the conversation on the Facebook page and on the YouTube page. It would be wonderful to hear from you this morning. So, the WWE UK Championship over 2 days at the Empress Ballroom at the Winter Gardens in Blackpool. Packed crowd for both nights, really hot, and it was a really great display of British wrestling. And I'll be honest, out of the 16 guys involved, I hadn't heard of any of them. Maybe one, I think. But by the end, I became emotionally invested. And that's what WWE does so well. They create characters. It's something which boxing really lacks as a sport, but it's something that the UFC and WWE do very, very well. They get you emotionally involved in the people, and that's effectively what we want to do. We want to support someone. We do it with our football teams, we do it with our other sports teams, and WWE do it really well. It was a fantastic tournament. The second night was very good as well. Mainly better than the first night. The first night was almost like the group stages of a World Cup. And when we got to that second night, we knew who the characters were. We knew that the real heel of the organisation was Pete Dunne. We didn't like him. And then we started to love Tyler Bate, who would become the UK champion for WWE. I was at the event courtesy of Paul Benson from Hooked on Wrestling. He really looked after me. It was absolutely fantastic to spend the 2 days with him. And I managed to get his thoughts just at the end of the show from the Empress Ballroom. Just have a quick look at this. So the WWE UK Championship is over. We've got a new champion in Tyler Bate. Absolutely amazing event. I'm here with Paul Benson. Paul, you watched the show. Just how good is it?
It was a phenomenal show. You know, both nights were really great fun. Obviously the production values were first class, and the right guy won, which made the fans go home happy. What a moment we just had in that ring with the champagne and the streamers. It couldn't have gone any better.
Was there a match of the night for you?
The main event. The main event, that, you know, there was a reason why those guys were holding back earlier in the tournament, and that was they left it all in the ring there, as the cliche goes. That was a top effort.
And do you think this is now the start of a regular WWE UK show?
Let's hope so. You know, it's a great stepping point if it is. It's not going to happen overnight. It's not going to happen next week. But maybe this time next year we'll be back here, and it'll be one of, you know, a weekly thing that goes out on the network or on TV, wherever.
And just quickly, you've got parties coming up soon. Tell us about them.
Yep, we have. Thanks, Rich. We've got parties across the country for the Royal Rumble on January the 29th. Hooked on events. You find us on Facebook, facebook.com/HO Wrestling. We're going to be in London, Leeds, Manchester, Liverpool, Birmingham and Cardiff. Check us out for tickets. Come and watch the best pay-per-view parties in the UK.
And we'll put links to that on the description page, of course. Thanks a lot, Paul, and thank you for watching.
Thanks, Richard.
So that was me live well, not live, but that was me from the Emperor's Ballroom in Blackpool with Paul Benson talking about the WWE UK Championship. And that leads us nicely on today's poll. Let's have a look at it. It's on our Twitter page at Sportuccino. We're asking, do you think Tyler Bate will be an entrant into the WWE Royal Rumble? Of course, he won the UK Championship. Could he be a surprise entrant? Perhaps he could do a Maven. Perhaps he could eliminate The Undertaker. Now, wouldn't that be pretty cool if he was to do that? So, simple question. Do you think Tyler Bate will be an entrant into the WWE Royal Rumble? Hashtag WWE UKCT. Simple question. Yes or no? I would love to get your thoughts on that. Let us know on the Facebook page and on the YouTube page. And, of course, get involved in the conversation on Twitter. And here is the result of Friday's poll. We were asking who will win on Sunday between Manchester United and Liverpool at Old Trafford. Hashtag ManUTD, hashtag LFC, hashtag MUNLIV. And 38% of you said Manchester United, 38% of you said Liverpool, 24% of you said a draw, and those 24% of you were correct because, of course, it finished 1-1. But the way that 38% of you each thought Man United and Liverpool, it sounds like you were all a little bit on the fence, and it proved to be right because Zlatan Ibrahimovic, his equaliser, meant Manchester United drew 1-1. So let's move on to what else was happening in the English Premier League. Of course, it was a very busy Saturday. Let's have a look at those results. Huge win for Tottenham Hotspur. 4-0 winners over West Brom. Hat-trick for Harry Kane, which was amazing for my dream team. I was very pleased with that. Burnley won, Southampton 0. Joey Barton on his return to Burnley after being in that short spell at Rangers, ill-fated spell at Rangers. He came off the bench and scored a free kick to give them a 1-0 win. Hull beat Bournemouth 3-1, 2 goals from the returning Abel Hernandez. Of course, he'd missed a lot of the season through injury. We've got Sunderland 1, Stoke 3, Arnautovic with 2 goals there. Arsenal 4-0 winners over Swansea. Alexis Sanchez's 14th goal of the season. Wow, he's getting those goals pretty quickly this year. 2 own goals and 1 from Giroud. Watford 0, Middlesbrough 0. West Ham, no Payet, no problem. They beat Crystal Palace 3-0. Bad return for Big Sam Allardyce. What a goal from Andy Carroll. That was absolutely incredible, that bicycle kick, and a cool finish at the end from Manuel Lanzini. 3-0 to West Ham there. And in the late game, it was 3-0 for Chelsea, the league leaders, beating the reigning champions Leicester City 3-0. 2 scrappy Alonso goals and 1 for Pedro. All right, we've spoken a lot about Sunday already, but let's have a quick reminder of the results there. So Everton 4-0 over Manchester City. Didn't see that coming. As we mentioned in the headlines, Guardiola admits that their title challenge is now over. And also it was Manchester United 1, Liverpool 1. Liverpool are now 4 games without a win. United are unbeaten in 10 matches in all competitions. Milner with a penalty for Liverpool and Zlatan Ibrahimovic with the equaliser. And that brings me on to my goal of the day. I mentioned that I have Harry Kane in my dream team. And what I like to do on Snapchat is every single morning set myself a goal. Normally it's to do with health and nutrition, that I've got to go to the gym, I've got to complete like 10 push-ups or something like that, because we want to improve as a person every day, and we can do that by goal setting. Today's goal, because I'm going to be travelling back from Blackpool, there's no time for me to hit the gym today because I'm doing this show live. So instead it's something else. So why don't you have a look at what is on our Snapchat page. Here is today's goal of the day. Now, many of you know that I love my fantasy Premier League. Had a great weekend. Harry Kane's hat-trick sent me a lot of points. But with Fantasy Premier League, you have to commit for the whole season. You have to stay across it, and you really have to know what's going on. But I've now heard of these one-day games, including FanDuel, where you can actually win money. So I'm going to give that a go. So signing up for FanDuel today is my goal of the day. So why don't you take me on FanDuel? I've got links to it on our Facebook and YouTube page for you to sign up. Come on, take me on. So as well as being a big weekend in the English Premier League, it was also a huge weekend in Gabon. It's the start of the Africa Cup of Nations. It's going to be a fantastic tournament, and we already had some close surprises. And we're going to go through all of what happened in the weekend and also look ahead to some of the matches this week with the sports broadcaster Thierry Nyann, football presenter for TV3. Thierry, you are now live on Sportuccino. So great to have you live from Ghana. Great weekend. Was there a match of the weekend you enjoyed the most?
Hi, Richard. Good morning, and thank you very much. Pleasure being here. Well, it's been a very good footballing weekend in Africa, in Gabon to be precise. When you look at the host nation playing out a 1-1 draw with debutant Guinea-Bissau, the host nation, remember, had Pierre-Emerick Aubameyang, one of the hottest prospects or strikers in world football, and he grazed that particular opening game and got himself a goal. One downside in the whole tournament has been the fact that spectatorship has been low because of the political instability in that particular country, and also the fact that the opposition are protesting against the incumbent government in that particular country. A lot of the fans have been asked not to make the games. You should also note that the tickets for the games have been priced at less than $1, and bizarrely, the stadiums still aren't full in any of those games. It tells you.
Well, I think we may have lost Thierry for a moment. We'll try and get Thierry back. Let's just hold on there and see what can happen. In the meantime, as we're talking about the Africa Cup of Nations, on Friday I spoke to Oluwashina Okeleji, and we were speaking about Group C. There's Group C matches today, including Ivory Coast versus Togo. Let's have a look at what Oluwashina had to say about Ivory Coast.
Previously on Sportuccino.
There's no Kolo Toure, there's no Yaya Toure. The brothers are out of there, and then Javinho is out with injury. They've put together a young team. They've really, everybody calls it a signing. They've got Wilfred Zaha, and everyone is talking about Wilfred Zaha now because it started very well for them. Former England international, remember, is now playing for his bed country, Ivory Coast, and is a top signing for them. They still have Wilfred Bony up front, but Jonathan Kojia, who is from Aston Villa, is the man to watch for the Ivorians there.
So we're trying to get Thierry back right now. We're hearing him, but we can't see him. Thierry, let's just continue while we can. Let us know how we can follow you on Twitter and any other things you'd like to promote, please.
You'd have it on your screen, but it's Nyann Thierry, Nyann Thierry, for all sports details, especially African football, and Ghana football as well. And also on Instagram, on Facebook, still the same name. You can find me.
Thierry, it's been absolutely fantastic to get your thoughts on today's Sportuccino. Thank you so much, Thierry Nyann, there from
Pleasure.
TV3 in Ghana. Thanks a lot.
Thank you too.
Really good to hear from Thierry on today's Sportuccino. Apologies if you had any sound problems. I think we missed a bit of Thierry saying there, and obviously we lost the connection a little bit earlier, but we will try and get Thierry back on the show because he is clearly a very knowledgeable guy when it comes to African football and sports in general. So really good to hear from him. All right, let's have a look at what happened in the Spanish and Italian league. So, in the Spanish league, it was Barcelona 5, Las Palmas 0. huge win there for Barca. Atletico Madrid 1, Real Betis 0, Deportivo 0, Villarreal 0. But the big result is, of course, Sevilla winning 2-1 against Real Madrid, ending Real Madrid's 40-game unbeaten run. And what that now means is Sevilla, they jump above Barcelona into second in the table, and they're now a point behind the leaders, Real Madrid. Could be a 3-horse race in Spain this season. Of course, Atletico not really been on fantastic form, where they're getting a few wins right now, such as that win over Betis. In Italy, Serie A, Lazio beat Atalanta 2-1. Udinese lost to Roma, and Napoli beat Pescara 3-1. But again, it's the late game, which is the one which is going to really affect the title race. The league leaders, Juventus, losing 2-1 at Fiorentina. Wow, did not expect to see that coming either. Pretty exciting stuff. See, I wasn't lying. I am live from Bloomfield Road. I am live from Blackpool. Let me know what you think. Pretty cool to be here this morning in Blackpool. I still can't believe that they're a League Two side. That for me, they were only in the Premier League only a couple of years ago, and they're now in League Two. But it is great to be here in Blackpool. It's been a fantastic weekend. Now, we've spoken a lot about football today. We've spoken a lot about wrestling. But of course, today, the Australian Open has started, and that links me nicely to my stat of the day on our Instagram page, which is at Sportuccino.
The Australian Open was played on grass up until 1988.
So that is, of course, today's stat of the day. Check the Instagram for all kinds of videos. We'll put a bit of Thierry Nyann on that page as well a little bit later. So talking about the Australian Open, Andy Murray has won his first match in a Grand Slam since becoming world number 1. He beat the world number 95 Ilya Marchenko. He won 7-5, 7-6, 6-2 in Melbourne over the Ukrainian. And he's attempting to win his first Australian Open after 5 final defeats. Wow, did you watch that match? What did you think? Does Murray look in good form? I haven't been able to see it because I've been sleeping, getting ready for this show. Let me know what you think of Murray's performance. Who do you think is going to win the whole event? Who is going to win the Australian Open? I would love to get your thoughts on that. Now, obviously, I'm here in Blackpool, Bloomfield Road. Pretty cool to be here. Travelled up for the WWE UK Championship. And one of the things we like to do on Sportuccino is talk about travel. We like to discuss all different travel tips and everything like that. So let's have a look at what today's travel tip is. Yes, the beaches in Blackpool aren't like that one in the promo video. They're not quite like that, but you know, neither are the ones in Brighton, so I can't really say much there at all about that. But today's travel tip is actually not related to coming to Blackpool at all, because I'm still in the same country. But an important thing when you're travelling is to check your passport and see how long until it expires. Because very often, if you've got less than 6 months, when you arrive in certain countries, they may not actually let you in. Because if you've got less than 6 months, they very often, it's part of their rules and regulations that they won't allow you into the country. And if you've had to get a visa beforehand, if you've got less than 6 months, normally they won't process a visa. So it's always good to every now and then just check your passport, because these things spring up on you. You just don't know what's going to happen next. Another good one is actually to check how many pages you've got in your passport. A lot of countries need a full page to stamp, and if you don't have a full page, then you could be in big trouble. And the last thing you want to do is spend, like, let's say £1,000 on a flight, get to your destination, they say, sorry, we're not letting you in, you've got to go back. That's a waste of time, it's a waste of money, it's not very good for you. So for today's travel tip, it is to check your passport expiry date. Alright, every single day I like to discuss the latest in sports, health and nutrition. got some bad news, people. I was supposed to be reviewing the Scheckter's Organic Energy Drink, but you can't really see it here, but there's a massive piercing in the side. I had it in the bag with all of the kit, and it decided to pierce everything, and I'm amazed I haven't actually ruined all of my clothes, and it doesn't have this kind of pinky purpley energy drink stain. So I'm actually not going to review this today because there's a little bit left, but it'll be a little bit flat. So I'm actually going to save this. It's called the Scheckter's Organic Energy Drink. Why don't you have a look at it? I've got a link to it on our Amazon affiliate link on the description page on YouTube and Facebook. Why don't you give it a taste? Let me know what you think, and next week I will review that drink and give a full review of the Scheckter's Organic Energy Drink. I can't believe we've run out of time already on Sportuccino. It's been so great to be here at Bloomfield Road in Blackpool. Absolutely fantastic. We will be back in the office tomorrow morning from 8 GMT. We're going to be talking everything related to sport. We haven't even had a moment today to talk about the huge run chase by India. I think it was the joint fourth highest in history in one-day internationals. 122 runs from Virat Kohli. Another fantastic performance for him as India beat England in that first one-day international in Pune. Really exciting stuff there. England really struggling in India in this series, not just in the Test series, but now in the one-day internationals. What are your thoughts on that? What needs to be changed for England? Also, we haven't spoken about the NFL. We've got the Green Bay Packers through to the NFC Championship game where they'll face the Atlanta Falcons. Who's going to win that? I would love to get your predictions. What did you make of their win over Dallas, 34-31? Aaron Rodgers against Tom Brady, getting the better of him. Really exciting stuff in the NFL. We're getting to the real crunch time in the NFL. 4 teams left. Who's going to win it? Let us know on the Facebook and YouTube page. I would love to hear from you. All right, we've come towards the end of the show, but let's get a quick reminder of today's sports headlines.
Manchester City manager Pep Guardiola says their title challenge is over after a 4-0 defeat to Everton. Manchester United and Liverpool drew 1-1 at Old Trafford. India successfully chased 351 to beat England in the first one-day international in Pune. And the Green Bay Packers beat the Dallas Cowboys 34-31 to reach the NFC Championship game.
Great to hear from Liam Stevens on the Facebook page talking about Blackpool. He says, can't wait to face them next year in League 2. Come on, Dagenham. Dagenham and Redbridge fan. Oh, good friend of mine, Junior McDougall, used to play for the Daggers. Actually saw them play a long, long time ago, maybe 15 years ago. Showing my age now. But thanks for getting involved, Liam. Of course, you can get involved on the show every single weekday from 8 GMT on Facebook, YouTube, and on Periscope. And all of the other episodes are available for you on Sportuccino.com. If you do one thing today, please be it liking the Facebook page or subscribing to the YouTube channel or following us on Twitter. I would really, really appreciate it. Well, it's been fantastic to talk to you today. We've covered everything, haven't we? We've talked Australian Open, we've talked WWE, we've talked football from around the world, UK, Spain, Italy. We were live in Ghana. Thanks to Thierry Nyann. We'll get him on the show again. It's been great to talk to you. I've been Richard Parr. You've been watching Sportuccino, and we will be back tomorrow morning from 8 GMT. Have a wonderful day. We've been live from Blackpool.